May I come in, sir?
Please
Come in.
Sandeep, please be seated.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to this mock interview.
Good evening.
We are happy to have you here.
Thank you, sir.
Sandeep, you belong to Madhubani district.
Yes.
You studied in Madhubani only, initially.
Yes, sir.
And then to Kharagpur.
Yes.
And you have done integrated MSc in Mathematics and Computing.
Yes, sir. Yes.
IIT Kharagpur. This is your second attempt.
Yes.
Earlier attempt had you qualified for interview?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So once you have appeared for the interview,
Yes, yes.
you missed by how many marks from the cutoff?
Sir, it was 32 marks.
32 marks.
Yes, sir.
Out of
Sir, 2025 marks. Total marks of UPSC examination is 2025 marks, and I missed the cutoff by 32 marks. Yes.
you missed by the cutoff was 32 in general category.
No, sir. Cutoff was 961. Yes, sir.
Which are your optional subjects for UPSC?
Sir, my optional subject is mathematics.
Mathematics.
Yes, sir.
Sandeep, what is the difference between a traditional chip and Android in computer or power or electronic gadgets?
Sorry, sir. I did not. Pardon me,
The
sir.
difference between traditional chip and Android. Usage is backed by Android. So what is the difference?
Sir, Android is an operating system.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And the chip is a basic unit in the processor, and Android is provides an overall architecture on top of which softwares can be built, which are useful for running the mobile phone. So Android is building of software on top of the hardware, and chip is basically the hardware.
What do you see as the future technological development in next say 2-3 years in the use of mobile phone?
Sir, one thing that we have noticed is that mobile phones have greater and greater computing power now. From the earlier laptop-based computing, mobile phone will also give us enough computing to run servers or to run heavy apps, for instance, gaming apps. So their mobile phone will be much more useful. And certain new technologies like augmented reality, virtual reality, these will be incorporated in the mobile phone in a much more intensive way.
You are from Madhubani area. What is the uniqueness of the Madhubani painting? Why it is so unique and famous?
Yes, sir. Sir, Madhubani painting is an ancient painting, and right from the time of Ramayana, it has evolved as part of the culture of Madhubani. Key features of Madhubani painting are, sir, that still natural colors and sources, for instance, nib paints and dyes obtained from natural sources such as ochre and leaves and flowers. These things are obtained. And sir, the focus of themes are mainly around the folk tales of Rama Sita and Krishna Radha. So these myths and legends are depicted along with the natural flora and fauna of the region, such as tulsi plants is prominently featured in these things. And sir, another unique feature is that this tradition of painting has been done mostly by women, and it is still being carried on by women of Madhubani region. So these are some of the features.
Okay. You can remove your mask if you wish to.
Thank you, sir.
You can remove it, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
As a district collector, if you are given an opportunity to revamp the education setup, so how will you take that opportunity and how will you go about?
Uh, Sir, right now we have had national education policy being adopted by the government, and therein lies the key provisions that we can incorporate in the education sector. For instance, sir, integrating early childhood education as part of the mainstream education, we can do that. For that, reforms in Anganwadi system and integrating that with the school education can be done. Sir, second thing is that education as a means of personality development has to be focused from the beginning of the education. So right now the focus is mainly on examinations, then careers and jobs. Even in college, priority is given to job related education. But overall, education has to be, sir, in the uh, view of Jadu Krishnamurti's overall personality development of youth, so that they are able to contribute to the development of nation in a meaningful way. Uh, so, so this philosophical aspect I will integrate along with changes in curriculum and infrastructure development in the and teacher training as well, so that overall quality of education improves.
Fine. Uh, you like reading non-fiction books.
Yes, sir.
Which is the latest one?
Sir, latest one, Mr. Jadu Krishnamurti is the Think on These Things. I have read, sir.
These things.
Yes.
What is the one thing which you would like to convey to the board?
Sir, one thing is that this Jadu Krishnamurti emphasizes a lot that we have to think about whatever we face in our life on our own. Basically, meditation on various things that we face in our life. That thing has been emphasized by him, and I think it is relevant because I also do meditation. Okay. So, the awareness of things around us, whatever that may be, and developing our understanding, holistic understanding of it, rather than depending on the knowledge sources provided by others, that can lead to better understanding, and this can be helpful in the development of society as well.
Okay. Interesting question. How can you earn from mathematics? What I mean to ask is the knowledge of mathematics, yes, how it can be used in commercial activities.
Sir, there are multiple applications of mathematics in commercial activities. Today, data analysis has emerged, and there statistics and mathematics is widely used, and data analysis has become integral for e-commerce and other kinds of analysis. So that is one way. And sir, in general, mathematics is key for various activities, whether it is commerce, arithmetic is used, and in the development of technology as well. So for instance, today focus is on artificial intelligence. There also the basics are mathematics itself. The algorithms, for instance, backpropagation algorithm, that is mathematics which has been used. In the COVID pandemic management as well, models were based on mathematics, statistical modeling were done. So these are many ways in which mathematics has commercial applications.
Good. Surveying.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Sandeep Kumar.
Yes.
So you are sergeant in NCC.
Yes, sir, I was.
Did you ever think about joining Indian Armed Forces?
Sir, in my school days, I had fascination for armed forces. That's why I had joined NCC. But after passing 10th class, I realized that I like mathematics and sciences more. So I started preparing for JEE examination.
Okay. So just because you were there in NCC, our President CDS has talked about 4 theatre commands.
Yes, sir.
He has proposed 4 theatre command. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir.
And how they are different from the regular commands?
Sir, main focus of theatre commands is on integration of resources of 3 armed forces.
Right.
And theatre commands, the 4 proposed theatre commands, one will be maritime command, another will be air force command, and 2 related to armed forces, army. Sir, there the emphasis is on developing a integrated battle force, which will pool together the resources as well as manpower, and together they will work for the protection of the nation.
Right. Also, you have done computing, mathematics and computing.
Yes, sir.
we see now the laptops are coming with SSD configuration, right? Earlier they used to be hard disk drive, now they are SSD, soft state disk something. Are you aware of those terms? So how SSD is different from HDD?
Sorry, sir, I do not know the technical difference.
Okay, it is faster, like SSD is faster than HDD, but you have to read about it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, you must be aware about the new IT guidelines for OTT platforms.
Yes, sir.
What are like first of all, what is the OTT platforms and how these guidelines? Do you think that it is a curve on their freedom of expression? What is your views about it?
Sure. Sir, OTT refers to over-the-top platforms, and these days, due to surge in the internet uses, platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, these are providing content which were earlier delivered through television or through theater, and these are the OTT platforms. Sir, IT rules have provided regulations for content in OTT. It was a long time demand because there have been some issues. Uh, for instance, content of many of these films and television series have questionable content. For instance, vulgarity was pointed out, and also, sir, in India, freedom of expression is a cherished right, and we all want to enjoy it. But there are some restrictions under Article 19(2). Incorporating both of these, IT rules have come up to provide a suitable framework for regulation of OTT
Can you
content.
give us 2-3 provisions, specific provisions which are there in the new IT guidelines?
Sir, here the main emphasis is on creating a suitable mechanism for grievance redressal.
Right.
So 3-tier mechanism have been devised so that anyone can raise a complaint and that will be solved. So this is one, and they have to appoint one grievance officer dedicated to solve this issue.
Okay.
Sir.
And you have also written that you are interested in NGO work. So
Yes.
Are you associated with any NGO?
Yes, sir. Sir, the NGO was Center for Internet and Society. It is based in Bangalore, and there I had worked while I was in college.
Over to
Sandeep, you are a student of IIT Kharagpur.
Yes.
So IITs are considered to be the most premier institutions in our country. So what are the strengths of IITs?
Ma'am, one of the strengths of IIT is that talented students come because of the rigorous examination, that is IIT JEE Advanced examination. So this is a very competitive examination, and less than 1% students are selected. And second thing is that it provides a very integrated environment where almost all needs of students are taken care of, whether this is academic needs or extracurricular needs. These are taken care of. So students grow up in a very wholesome environment, which can lead to not only academic excellence, but it can also lead to development of personality, development of leadership qualities, and this is where IITs have created a very good environment to provide holistic education. So this is one of the biggest strengths of IITs, in my opinion.
Okay, that's good. So what lessons can other institutions of higher education they can draw from the functioning of IITs?
One of the challenges that we are facing in higher education is that faculty's strengths have not improved, and this is where IITs have done better. They have faculty student ratio is much better. So first thing is that faculties have to be appointed. Second thing is that research based focus has been lacking in many of these institutes. IITs have done better, and many students become aware of research opportunities in their colleges, and this is where other IITs, other colleges can do better. Other thing is that industry academia linkages and dedicated opportunities for jobs in the private sector. This is again IITs have done better, and that's why their placement records have been much better. So there can be collaboration between IITs and other colleges to share these learnings from IITs.
Okay. So do you think women are at a position of disadvantage in the society currently?
Surely, ma'am. According to Gender Inequality Index, I think position of women have been highlighted, where we see that they face discrimination in various walks of their life. For instance, in India, labor force participation for women is very poor at nearly 17 or 18%, and this is even lower than countries like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. Second thing is that still in India, crime against women continues to rise at 7% according to NCRB data. This is such an alarming figure, and we have to control it. Dowry-related cases have also been rising. In COVID-19 pandemic, when world was dealing with pandemic, women were dealing with a shadow pandemic that was related to the harassment, domestic violence that they face in their home, and this shows that we are still not a society where women are respected equal to the men in the society, and we need to do much more about it.
So, what steps should be taken to improve gender sensitization in our society as a whole?
Ma'am, here multiple measures can be taken right from the school level, where students are taught in a proper way how to think about women. These stereotypes can be broken when they are growing up and socialization is taking place, attitude building is taking place. There we can break that stereotype, and also even uh, we have to create opportunities for women, and we have to create role models where women come up and they show that they can also perform equally or even better than men in various work. For instance, a sport person like PV Sindhu, they have generated a lot of awareness about the potential of women. So if government can create enabling conditions where women can come up, they can succeed, that will lead to effect on other women who will also contribute to the society.
Uh, that's a good take. And now I'd like to ask you about your opinion on the lateral entry in the civil services. Do you think there will be some friction between the lateral entrants and the seasoned bureaucrats?
Ma'am, lateral entry scheme has been incorporated to bring outside talent into the civil services, and this is where it can be helpful to bring competition in the civil service. So, in that sense, I think lateral entry is a positive move. But having said that, I would also say that civil servants should also be encouraged to do specialization, and they should also be given opportunity to work in the private sector so that they can gain different experiences. So this will lead to very healthy competition in the civil services.
Okay.
Okay. So Sandeep, you were talking about algorithm. Do you think that algorithm is reducing emotions to zero or near zero? Everything is being reduced to algorithms. In the process of application of information and technology to government services, do you think that this is a problem that we are facing?
Uh, Sir, as we are focusing on e-governance, and there is uh, emphasis on reduced interaction between bureaucrats and general public, so as to increase the efficiency. I think this is, in some areas this is helpful. For instance, sir, in taxation this is helpful, uh, but in many other areas, uh, greater public connect would help in increasing trust in public institutions. Uh, for instance, sir, in disaster management, we want district magistrate to show empathy to the people and to appear sympathetic to their situation. So, in such things, sir, I don't think algorithms is the proper way.
Five major problems of your home district, Madhubani.
Uh, Sir, lack of educational opportunities is one major problem, and second is, sir, healthcare infrastructure is also lacking. Third is, sir, opportunities other than agriculture in terms of employment and jobs. These are not available. Industries are not present. And fourth, sir, caste remains a major factor. Caste inequality is still present. And fifth, sir, gender inequality. Women are still facing discrimination in many fields.
Okay. So, if you are getting extra legal orders from your political executive, suppose you are posted in Madhubani district as a DM, and you are getting extra legal orders from member of parliament, what would be your approach to this?
Sir, first thing is that as a civil servant, I have to stick to conduct rules, and so I will immediately check whether it is within the rules to do what is being asked to me.
If rules are silent on that?
Sir, then Supreme Court has given guidelines that written order should be taken.
Right.
So I will request for a written order then only I will act on it.
Okay. And last question is, do you think that sedition charges are being loosely applied in the last few months?
Sir, recent Delhi High Court judgment in this regard has been that uh, in the UAPA law, Terrorist Act has been loosely interpreted and sedition charges have also been applied in many cases. So here it can be said that sedition charges under section 124A sometimes they are applied loosely because still conviction rate in under this law is very low, sir. Uh, and here Kedarnath Singh judgment in the Supreme Court, that is very relevant, and it should be police force should be sensitized about it so that it is only used wherever applicable.
Thank you very much, Sandeep. Just give us a few minutes. We will internally assess the thing and then give you the feedback.